Hi, I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about my first experience with an OBE. If you don't know about it, there's plenty of information about it out on the internet. Um, this isn't the video that will explain what it is. I'm assuming you know what it is. I just wanted to go over with you what happened to me and and I just want to declare it because until it happened, I was always a bit skeptical. Um, I can tell you this though: the moment that at one point you split apart and you become um, two people, two entities, it's at that moment that you realize that you definitely are not just your physical body here on earth, that there's so much more than we're taught to believe, either religiously or in schools or whatever. Um, I've been working on OBE studies for almost a year. Next month will be a year. And most of my experiences were vague uh, or, short-lived. Um, but I felt I was getting closer and closer. Um, then in the spring, my brother died, and I felt the urgency to really accomplish an OBE to the point where I feel it hurt my studies because I wasn't getting anything for months and months, absolutely nothing. And I talked to people, and they said that I was not ready to meet with my brother on the other side, and either my guides or myself or he even was deliberately holding me back from achieving the OBE because of that. 2 nights ago, Saturday night, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I awoke. I couldn't really sleep, and I decided to try to OBE, and about 15 minutes later, I found myself just walking down the hallway, and to make a long story short, I think the experience lasted about 5 minutes, and I was so jazzed. And then last night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, again I awoke around 3 a.m., laid there for 15 minutes or so, and it was then that for the first time in all my experiences, I experienced the vibration state that everyone says that you experience. My experience on Saturday night, I did not feel any vibrations. I didn't feel anything. It just all of a sudden I was walking down the hall. But last night, the vibration state, my whole body just quivered like I can't really explain it. It's almost like I've heard some people say it feels like you're on a vibrating bed, and that's kind of what it is. You have waves of quivering, and it's kind of scary, but I knew what was happening, so I kept going, and then all of a sudden this rushing sound. I said it was like a giant wave coming down on my head, and um, it almost, the pressure, it was almost like pressure on my head, and again I almost stopped it, but I just laid there, and when that stopped, I said to myself, I think I can try this now, and I swung my legs over to the side of the bed, and I was laying there kind of stuck. I felt really heavy, But at that moment, I could feel my bodies, one direction and 145 degrees other direction at the same time. And that moment is when I realized how much it's true that we are more than our physical bodies. Even the experience afterwards isn't as telling as that moment when you're exactly two beings at the same time. I don't know at this point yet if that experience continues after death, after the energy of life is gone. So I'm still struggling with that, but I'm sure that with continuing studies and continuing OBEs, I will find that answer. I will find out for true if we continue after our death. But I swung my legs over the side of the bed and was kind of stuck there. And I kind of laid there and rocked and pushed with my hands until I was able to almost fling myself out of my body. And I stood there for a moment, and it was just this sheer joy at that moment, because everything I'd worked for the last almost year, it was right there staring at me, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't turn around and look at myself on the bed. I wish now that I would have, but I just went forward out into my hallway, and I wanted to go see my cats. I have 2 cats. I went into the office and I saw them. The one was down under the desk. I bent down to pet her, and she just kind of gave me this look. She could see me, apparently, and I was petting her, and she started to purr. The other cat just took off. Didn't, I saw him out of the corner of my eye just run away. At that point, things kind of get vague for me. I found myself outside, not even sure where, but I remember thinking, I want to see if I can fly, because I want to go to my friend's house. So I jumped up and went up about 5 feet and came down, and I still felt heavy at that point. I kept jumping until finally I propelled myself up to somewhere. I don't even know where it was. It was a building, and I was on the edge of the roof, hanging on, and just kind of scared, and I remember seeing someone down at the ground. He was wearing some kind of a cape, but he was saying something to me. I don't remember if I didn't hear him or if I just don't remember what he was saying, but I just got the feeling that he wasn't in my best interests. Whatever he was saying or doing, I just felt like, I should not stick around. And it was at that moment I decided I just had enough, and so I decided I'm just going to let go of this ledge and fall back and fall into my body, which is exactly what happened. I just fell back and woke up, my eyes open, and it was like I knew I just achieved that which I had tried so hard for a year. If you're trying this, if you're studying this, you gotta keep trying. That's all I can say is keep trying, because it's not easy. If it was easy, anybody could do it. This astral projecting dates back to the beginning of time. People or civilizations spoke about it, in literature and stuff. So this isn't a new phenomenon. But for some reason, our society, whether it's religious based or whatever, we hide it. We don't teach it. But I think there's there's an awakening, and more people are becoming aware of the movement. I myself have actually been studying on and off for about 10 years, but it was about a year ago when I decided that I was going to accomplish this, and almost every night for a year, almost every night, except about a month after my brother died, where I didn't feel like doing much of anything. But except for that, I've worked diligently for almost a year. I know a lot of people have had success in a lot shorter amount of time. Maybe I'm just a slow learner, I don't know. But I can say, keep trying, keep working at it, find out all the information you can. There's so much out there, there's so many people talking about it. I'm here talking about it because I just feel like I have to share this experience with people, because it's unbelievable. It's super real. When it's happening to you, it's not a dream, because it's so real. It's as real as breathing, as walking. Now what happens during it? Things can get hazy, because I've heard, and I know for a fact, when you come back and you download, your mind tries to interpret things different ways, what happened, and sometimes things get garbled, or you forget things. In my case, I have a patch of missing memories there. Uh, but I'm going to learn, I'm going to study, and hopefully keep you guys updated. And I hope I've encouraged some people to continue as I did, and maybe someday we'll meet in the astral plane. Have a great day. Bye.